First of all, I'm not like a big sports nerd. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but I just want you to know that this isn't going to keep happening. However, I heard somebody else offer up a similar analogy in a different context, and I thought, like, that is brilliant. I'm going to steal that for my YouTube channel. He used LeBron James, which I'll never do because he's a team swapping, flopping wannabe. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use Steph Curry. I'm going to teach you how to beat Steph Curry at Google Ads. Here's what I mean. You can beat the best in the world at just about anything if you're able to use leverage. Steph Curry has a 43.1% three-point average. That's insane, by the way. Like, can you imagine? He's basically hitting half of the time. So Steph Curry's got a 43.1%, let's say closing ratio, because we're going to transition this over to Google Ads. So we want to go beat Steph Curry, and we're fighting the Steph Curry of Google Ads. Okay, so the Steph Curry is our competitor, and he's the Steph Curry in your space, whatever it is that you're doing. You're selling Persian rugs, or you got a plumbing company, or an e-commerce store, or a SaaS product, whatever it is. You're Steph Curry, the person who just can't miss spending $1,000. Has a $2 CPC, which WordStream keeps saying is the average. I don't buy that at all, by the way. I don't see $2 CPCs in the search game, but whatever. That means that he gets 500 clicks. He has a 43.1% closing ratio, hit percentage, and so he's getting 215 conversions. Great numbers, right? Nobody sees numbers like this, but just an example. Now, how do you beat this? How do you beat a guy hitting 43.1% of the time? You get more shots. And I realize that's like, well, a no-brainer. But is it, though? Because look at this. Let's say that I only hit 10% of the time. I'm not Steph Curry. I'm weird and awkward and gangly, and I've got long limbs, and I probably belong in a Tim Burton movie. I'm hitting 10% of the time, right? But if I get 8x the at-bats, switching sports here, that Steph Curry does, I beat him by two times, right? So you take Steph Curry's CPC at $2 and you drop it down to 25 cents, and now I'm crushing life. And there's a couple of points here that I want to make. Just because somebody else's business is more efficient than your business is doesn't mean that you can't beat them. Now, it also doesn't mean that you shouldn't work on upping your efficiency. So whatever it ends up being, if it's, conversion rate from the website to lead, closing rate from lead to client, retention rate, whatever, those numbers are numbers that are beat upable. And you absolutely should spend time on those numbers. What I'm teaching you here is it's the least dynamic data point for you to go after. However, here's what I'm seeing. I'm seeing folks that are playing middle of the lane Google Ads. So they're only going after the high commercial intent key phrases that live at the bottom of the funnel and speak exactly what it is that they're selling. And so, my favorite example is real estate investment for reasons you probably already know if you watch this channel. You're a real estate investor. You want to buy people's houses. So if somebody goes, sell my house fast for cash, you're like, yes, I'll buy that. Well, guess what? Your CPC is going to be 8x. Well, what if somebody says, how do I sell a hoarder home? Or how do I relocate urgently? Or what do you do with the property if you're getting a divorce? Like, those are all search terms that are going to be much, 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 much less expensive. Now, you're going to have a way lower closing ratio, but that actually might be worth it, right? Like, it might be worth it for you to zoom out, to move up in the funnel, in order to get more at-bats. Now, this is going to depend very strictly on your business situation. If you're like, man, my salespeople are slammed, I couldn't take another phone call if I wanted to, this doesn't work for you. This doesn't work for you. So, take into consideration that dynamics here, the variability. But for a lot of folks that I work with, they just want the easy, I only want the person that's going to buy what it is that I'm selling right when I'm selling it, for how much I'm selling it for, and they're ready to buy now. Well, okay, that click is expensive. But if you're willing to be creative and broaden your horizons just a little bit, I think you're going to find yourself in a position to where you actually have an influx in traffic, and that traffic can be really viable. Now, you have to play the sales game, right? You have to nurture them down from the top to the bottom of the funnel. You have to follow up. You have to overcome objections. Sometimes you actually have to sponsor the solution, meaning if somebody's about to get a divorce, they might not necessarily want to sell their house to a cash buyer. You have to explain to them why this is So much better than walking through this horrible process that would otherwise lose, both spouses all their money. This isn't the easier route, but in some instances, this is actually the better solution. And to go back to the original analogy, if you're facing off with someone that's like just insane, just unbelievably adept at what it is that they're doing, and you don't know how it is that you're going to compete, this is how you compete. If I were a Google Ads agency, let's say I was just getting started, and I didn't come here with the intention of making myself the Steph Curry of Google Ads, but I'm going to. Let's say that you're a Google Ads agency, you're just getting started, and you're going up against Solutions 8. We are firing on all cylinders. We have nerd famedom. We have phenomenal referral sources, amazing case studies, great pedigree. Like, you can't compete, or can you? Y'all, there are a ton of phrases I won't bid on. I won't bid on phrases because I'm like, I don't want to have those conversations. I'm above that. I've paid my dues. I shouldn't have to teach somebody how to log in. How do I log into my Google, right? Like, there are conversations I won't have that I know could lead me to a client because there's lower hanging fruit, and I'm at the moment able to capture that low hanging fruit at 43.1% or whatever it is that Steph Curry's closing at. I contend I'm better at Google Ads than Steph Curry is at basketball. That's probably not true. All that to say, sometimes when you're solving for a problem, you might be solving for the wrong variable. This is a way for you to solve for a specific variable that could dramatically increase your opportunities. Now, you're going to pay for that. You're going to pay for that generally in time, right? Because you have to field look at those numbers. Like, you might see like, oh, wow, look, hey, we're doubling the conversions. Yeah, but you have to go through, 4,000 more at-bats potentially. Or I guess in this instance, 3,500. So I guess if it's a click to your website, it doesn't matter. But you know what I'm saying. What if it were phone calls, or what if it were leads that we were using as whatever transition point? That's it. That's all I got. I'll see you tomorrow. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please give us a thumbs up. That lets YouTube know we actually know what we're doing. We shoot a video every single day. So if you want to be notified, hit that subscribe button. And if you have any input, don't hesitate to hit us up in the comments. We'd love to hear from you. We get very little human interaction. Thanks for supporting our channel, and hopefully I'll see you tomorrow.